So it seems like Electronic Arts has been making the same shitty games for the past 50 years. I was forced to put up with it when I played the current gen of Madden on PC, but after like 3 years of not receiving the next gen update, the NFL finally forced my hand into purchasing one of the new consoles. But after a couple of hours of playing, something quickly dawned upon me.
This is the exact same as the last one.
If you look at EA's biggest competitor in the market, you can see a clear gap in the progress of their annual sports titles and a very noticeable difference in the quality of their games. 2K released their first My Career mode in 2009 for NBA 2K10, where you could step in the shoes of a customizable rookie making his way through the NBA. In the early iterations of the game, you would have to navigate your way through various menus to upgrade your player, or to go from game to game, which at the time in 2010 was acceptable considering this was over a decade ago, and these sports games were still somewhat in their early infancy stages. 2K makes actual improvements to their annual franchise year after year, getting better and better as time goes on, adding and innovating new things that keep their game feeling fresh. They even added a city to their career mode in 2018, where you can interact with fans, talk to celebrities, or play pickup games with other players online, which added a much needed sense of freedom to 2K. And you would actually have to walk to places to get stuff done instead of doing everything through a menu. 2K has had this in their game for the past 4 years and have been steadily improving upon the idea the whole time. While Madden's franchise mode, Ultimate Team, and their career mode are still all the same versions of the same shit they've always been. And their story is so devoid of logic, it feels like it was written by an 11-year-old. Now don't get me wrong, the story in 2K is super fucking dumb. Kendrick Perkins calls you gay on national television or something, and your team says, oh, you gotta address this, and then you'll have to decide how you want to handle it. Do you want to respond and take the high road, or do you want to call him a washed up old man on Twitter? Like, this is the type of shit that goes on in NBA 2K23. Like, it's pretty ridiculous. It's actually like a soap opera. But the alternative is just so much worse with EA that I would absolutely way rather play the 2K version of an NFL game without a doubt, because at least I will be amused. Madden has had the same stupid format year after year that everyone hates at this point, because they basically had the same thing going on for a decade with no change. Except now, instead of going through menus, you'll occasionally have to watch a super cringy cutscene too. The 2K cutscenes are bad also, but at least they'll give you an illusion of choice. They have fully voice-acted cutscenes and press conference scenes where reporters will ask you questions and you can choose how you'll answer them in various ways. Maybe you'll want your guy to be a trailblazing maverick bad boy, or perhaps a more humble, mature guy that leads by example. Flash to Madden, where they still don't have fully voice-acted press answers or questions. They just expect you to read, but I'm not gonna fucking read that. It's 2022, your scene should be fully voice-acted. Madden has just set the bar so low. The game and presentation is like night and day compared to 2K. Madden's graphics are just significantly worse than 2K's. The character customization is significantly worse than 2K's. Basically everything about Madden is significantly worse than 2K. I can't even think of one thing EA managed to do better. Maybe they're not as bad with microtransactions, which is saying something. That's pretty fucked up if you're worse than EA at microtransactions. It's just sad to think that the last great football game was NFL 2K5, which is the last time 2K was able to make an NFL game before the league decided to give the exclusive rights over to EA, thus destroying any possible competition and stunting the growth of NFL games for the next 2 decades. NFL 2K5 was slightly before my time, but it's considered by most gaming sports fans to be the best NFL simulation game ever. And I've seen in some instances that it still has some better animations than our current version of Madden almost 20 years later. What EA is doing here is unacceptable. They should not have the exclusive license to the NFL, because if they do, they'll continue to release the same garbage year after year until the NFL finally realizes that the best way to make a good game is to encourage competition amongst the competing studios and not let EA have a monopoly that will continue to stunt the growth of Madden forever. Anyways, like and subscribe if you agree, and if you don't agree, please tell me why in the comments, because I will be very impressed if you can manage to make a compelling argument for EA keeping the license. But anyways, thank you for watching and farewell.